Yeah, I guess you're going to get a bonus vlog this week. Um, I don't know how many people, don't think many people would have seen the vlog I uploaded earlier, or I should have said yesterday, really, yesterday evening. But hey ho, people will see it eventually. Probably over the weekend or over the next week. To be quite honest, I couldn't give a rat's ass whether people watch it or not. Or this one as well. I know this channel's pretty much dead, but I'm still doing the channel, still keeping it going. I'm not going to delete it anytime soon. It's just one of those things is that, certain people that follow me, that watch my vlogs, I won't say religiously, but whenever I upload, there's the faithful few that do care and do enjoy them, which is mostly my focus point as to why I carry on making them, as well as I enjoy making them as well, as I've said many times. Now, this vlog, it's not really a vlog, it's more of a discussion. This channel was made primarily for this sort of thing, as well as other things, like besides my collecting, talking about certain topics and talking about the good things and also the bad. And that's the whole point. And today I want to talk about where my head's been. I know in my vlogs recently I've been saying I'm doing good, I'm feeling good, I'm not feeling too bad. To a degree, that is true. I'm not feeling too bad, but yeah, I feel like I have hit a bit of a depression state again. Mostly where, how can I put this? Mostly down to where my mental state is to a degree. Even though I know I'm not alone, and I'm not, what I mean is I'm not alone in the pretense of I still have family, I still have good friends around me, and I'm not alone in feeling the way I do. I understand that. So that keeps me sane to a degree. And I still, you know, watch things and do things that I enjoy, which also helps. Um, but I guess my mental state at the moment is, you know, I'm still thinking about my mom, still thinking about family related drama, stuff that's been going on. I'm not going to go into main specifics with that because it's not for YouTube. It is private between the family. Um, but there has been some things that's gone on, family drama, as since my mum passed away. There's been family drama on my mum's side of the family, and then obviously my grandparents both passing away. And since then, there's been kind of like a lull of communication. It's not been as bad, really. There has been a little bit of to and fro. I won't say a little bit, but this a little bit of conversation, but not as much as it used to be. So things aren't as bad, but still not great, if that makes sense. Um, and then there's been recently some other stuff coming up with my dad's brother, my uncle, but I'm not going to say any more on that. But and yeah, that's my dad's side of the family as well. So yeah, I just I've been thinking about my mom recently, which I always think of my mom, so I don't know why that's surprising to me. Um, I guess obviously in my last vlog I mentioned I went to see Across the Spider-Verse, and I know this sounds incredibly stupid to have these thoughts. I mean, end of the day, it's a film, it's not real, but the essence of family and how special mums are. Um, when you've got when you're lucky and blessed to have a good supportive family and a good and a loving parents and everything. Some people out there sadly don't have that, or don't have that as much as other people. But I'm blessed and lucky enough to have had that. Um, and when I went to see Across the Spider-Verse yesterday evening, um, basically Miles Morales' mom, and kind of like little quirky things kind of reminded me of how my mum was, how she would react if I brought a girl home or started interacting with a girl, things of that nature. She was always saying, "I want grandkids," things to that degree. Um, and yeah, no, that they're just little quirky things that Miles Morales' mum was like in the film, and that motherly bond for her son or for her child, and it just kind of brought back some solemn but good memories. And it just got me thinking, but it's not just that. It's not just that, but it's other things that's going on in my mind as well. Um, yeah, basically, I've been making recently, off and on, making TikToks. If nobody actually knew, but I do have a TikTok account, and I've been making. I've made about 3 videos, 2 specific, more personal videos, but talking about certain subjects that I thought to bring up and just generally ask the question if other people think the same way, and talking about things like body confidence, and talking about things like dating. Um, uh, when it comes to the world that we live in at the moment, where uh, things like social norms have changed, and how to, asking the question of how much more difficult it seems for people like myself and other people that want to, meet someone in a social environment, how much more difficult it feels for people who are single that do want to hopefully settle down or meet someone, that kind of thing. And I just generally think it's gotten a lot worse and it's gotten a lot harder, because you just don't know if you was to approach somebody in a social environment, if you end up getting labelled. And a lot of men, not just men, even people in general, are getting labelled left, right, and centre for for doing absolutely nothing wrong. Um, and the way the world is at the moment is kind of really kind of freaking me out with the dating side of things. And part of that is I do have issues with, as you know, depression, anxiety, and self confidence in my appearance, in body confidence. I don't have anything of that nature. I don't have any body confidence or any confidence in myself. And and when it comes to, you know, when it comes to kind of the dating side of things, I do struggle with that stuff. Yes, I have had a couple of relationships. Sadly, they haven't worked out. You know, I'm not gonna point fingers or anything, because it's it was just one of those things. But I think, I don't know. It's just my mindset is at the moment all over the place. I'm feeling alone. A bit scared about what the future could hold for me. Um, obviously it's just me and my dad, and obviously Jackie, my dad's girlfriend. Um, she's quite supportive as well, but obviously it's just me and my dad, and it's rattling around in my brain as to what happens when my dad goes. Things of that nature. What's the future going to hold? Could I end up homeless? Could I end up in a very bad place? I don't think that's going to happen, because I think my dad's not a stupid person. My dad's going to make sure I've got some sort of support, and if when that day does come, hopefully it won't, touch wood. It's not going to be for a while yet. But when that day comes, hopefully I will have some sort of support behind me. But still, the thought process is still there in my head, and I just don't know. It's just my mind. Things just rattle around in my brain. Sometimes it keeps me up, and I don't sleep very well. And then I, some days are fine, some days are not. I mean, like I say, when I went into, I don't. One reason as well, I don't get out very much, and there's usually a reason for that. Is I've seemed to, even though when I go to things like TFN, it's a social thing, and but yet I feel much more myself. I feel much more accepted. I feel much more happier in my own skin. Strangely, I know that sounds really stupid, I know, but TFN really has helped me with social side of things in interacting with people, new people. I've met many people over the years thanks to going to conventions, and it has helped me with the social side of things to a degree. But say if I was to go out for a drink on a night out, my social anxiety does actually kind of creep in a little bit. I know I'm not the only person that has this problem. Some people generally don't like being in a. Some people just. Some people have that. I didn't. This is the thing. I wasn't like that when I was younger. When I was a bit younger, when I started going out drinking at the age of 18, I started going out drinking and going socialising, going to clubs, and doing that whole kind of thing. Like when you do, as you do. I never had a problem with having a good time, having a laugh, talking to people I've never met before. I never actually had that problem. I never had that problem. But now, fast forward, I think because obviously I don't get out much, mostly because it's financial. It's very expensive to go for a night out these days. You need pretty much a bank loan these days to just go for a couple of pints and a meal and things like that. It does cost a lot of money sometimes to just go out for a night out. And I just don't have the spare cash most of the time, which is part of why I don't get out as much. The only times that I might go out is I might go and see a film, like I did yesterday. I might go and see a film, so it just gets me out the house, and you know, But still, that's not very social because at the end of the day, it's just going to see a film. Um, but when it comes to when it comes to like going to a pub or going to a nightclub, I find myself being the feeling of I just don't feel right in that environment. Um, so my eyes are darting around the room. Being very cautious of my surroundings. I don't know whether it's part of the problem is that I do have problems with trust issues, especially if they're complete strangers. I don't, I find it very difficult to trust people. Um, and yeah, I think that's probably part of it is I don't have much trust in people in general, except for those people I've made friends with. I have made friends with people, but yeah, I don't know. It's just I've noticed it's just when I've gone out for nights out, yeah, I'll happily talk to somebody. If somebody comes up to me and says hello, I will say hello back. If somebody stops and has a conversation with me, I will happily have a conversation back. I'm not one of these people that will ignore somebody if somebody is trying to talk to me. I'm not I'm not that type of person. I will always talk to somebody who directly communicates with myself. That's just how I've always been. However, I do feel I don't know. I just feel lost. I just feel completely lost in myself sometimes, especially when I'm in a social environment besides TFN, because TFN's the only time on my social calendar where I actually feel a bit more confident in myself to a degree. But I think it's because I'm surrounded by people who understand me and understand the person I am and my hobby, my interests, the things I like to watch, the things I like to do, my collecting. I guess that's part of it as to why going to TFN makes me feel a lot better in myself, and socializing and talking to people for the first time and talking to people I've made friends with over the years. There is literally no social anxiety whatsoever when I'm at TFN. I have none whatsoever. But yet, when I'm not at TFN, it's almost like it's a shroud that comes over me. Um, I mean, yeah, I mean, yeah. I guess that's a good way to put it. But no, I've just been. That's this bonus vlog today. Just don't worry about me. I know I'm gonna probably get some comments from people saying, uh, you know, you know, get help. Go and see a psychologist or someone. Yeah, to a degree, maybe that's a good idea. But uh, like I say, this is kind of like a therapy. It's kind of like a therapy for me, and why I made the channel, and why I actually went ahead and made the channel was for this purpose, to talk about things, get stuff off my chest. Yes, it's to YouTube, and some people don't agree with going on YouTube and airing certain things. But like I say, I've not said anything personal to a degree where it's family related. I haven't gone into massive details, and I deliberately don't go into massive details with family related stuff because it's personal and nobody else's business. So I respect that side of things. But when it comes to myself and how I'm feeling, I'm happy to put it out there because, one, I guess the reason why I do things like this is because, one, I know there's other people out there besides myself that are going through similar situations and have similar feelings. And I guess the reason why I do videos like this and talk about how I feel in myself is that there is nothing wrong with sharing how you feel in here and the what your thoughts are. It it does you good to get those out. And I know some people have a problem with doing YouTube. A lot of people have a bit of anxiety around the whole YouTube thing. People have tried to make videos and they just cannot get past their anxiety to carry it on or to even start doing stuff like this. I guess the reason for me is obviously at the beginning I did have YouTube anxiety, if you can even call it that as a label. I'm just going to call it YouTube anxiety because it's probably the perfect way to explain it. But when I first started YouTube, I did have a bit of YouTube anxiety where I was a bit concerned whether people that I knew would probably I didn't know if certain people would see the videos that I didn't want them to see, and I was unsure how some people would perceive and would see me on that side of things with my hobby. So that was partly going around my head, and also I don't like the sound of my own voice. I have problems with this, how I look, things of that nature, and hence why at the beginning I was behind the camera. I was either doing voiceover or behind the camera, disembodied hands, for a fair few bit of me starting out on YouTube, and it was kind of, and then I just all of a sudden thought, sod it, I'll just go in front of the camera for a change, and that's how it started. I kind of morphed into it. There was stages of me doing what I'm doing now, talking in front of camera. There was a stage. There was a couple of stages, couple of steps before I actually started doing front of camera. So, but yeah, but like I say, to wrap things up here, without going too long into the video, but this is pretty much a summary as what's been going on in my head recently. Thinking about my mum, thinking about personal things in the family, things that have gone on in the past, things that are still kind of lingering. And then just, talking about issues that I do have with anxiety, depression, and, you know, social anxiety to a degree, the future, concerns about the future, things of that nature is what's just running around in my head. But like I said, like I was saying before, the reason why I do these videos is, like I said, is one, I do it because I know there's other people out there that have similar issues to myself and have similar feelings and similar problems. And two, I do it because I want to try and air it as like a bit of awareness to a degree of there's nothing wrong with talking about this sort of thing, either on YouTube or to friends or family. There needs to there this needs to stop about now I know when it comes to male mental health, there's a stigma still around it. There's still a stigma. There's a stigma within society of men are not allowed, or is said, men do not talk about what's going on in here. They don't. They keep it locked inside. Throw away the key. Leave it in the head. Leave it in there. Do not let it out to anybody. And I don't agree with that shit. It's Victorian. It's a Victorian method of thought process, and I do not agree with it. And also, it's a generational thing as well. Like, men, and the whole kind of thing of man up, be a man, grow some balls, deal with it, walk it off. That bullshit I don't agree with. And men are allowed to express their thoughts, their feelings, express their mental health. There is no shame in it whatsoever. And people and society needs to understand that. People are probably going to disagree with me when I say this, but there seems to be more support for women. And I understand women do, obviously, it feels more open for women because obviously the way women are, they'll talk about anything between friends and family, especially female friends, and things, so on and so forth. They will probably quite happily talk about certain things. I know everybody's different. Some women probably don't have a good friend circle or a good family environment. Like I said before, earlier on in the vlog, everybody, some people are blessed with a good circle of friends that are understanding and a good supportive family, but on the other hand, there is some people out there that sadly do not have that, or have never had that, and it is more difficult for those individuals to talk about their problems because they are pretty much to themselves all the time. And I understand there is two sides to that. I do understand that. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. What I'm saying, I'm just trying to say is that male mental health really does not seem to have as much. It just doesn't seem to be taken seriously enough. It really doesn't. It doesn't seem to be taken seriously enough, and hence why there's more men that sadly take their own lives than women. The numbers are quite scary, and yeah, men. lads, men, guys, talk. It's all right. You can do it. You can talk. You can make a YouTube video for crying out loud, or not that. Maybe go and see a professional, or there is nothing wrong with opening up. And if you're surrounded by people who like what you call friends, that seem to have this kind of mindset where man up, grow some balls, walk it off, that kind of mindset, maybe just get rid of them, because there's nothing worse with having a toxic sort of friend background or whatever. You need to kind of try and there's a healthy approach to it, and I know it's easier said than done, I guess. But I guess my point here is that there's nothing wrong with being open about the things that are going on in here. Whether you want to do what I'm doing, you can if you want, but that's how I process things. I get it out there because it's better for me. Even though I am alright in myself, there's no danger. I'm not going to do anything stupid, if that makes any sense. I understand I've got good friends and I've got good supportive friends and family behind me, which is good, and that's what's keeping me fine. And I try and keep myself preoccupied and busy with the things I enjoy as well as making videos on YouTube. And yeah, I mean, even with all that's been said in the video, it's just things that have been buzzing around in my head that I just thought, sod it, I'm going to make a serious vlog. I haven't done one of these for a while, and I'm not going to make these all the time. It's either going to be when I generally feel that I want to just express myself. And there we go. Whether people actually watch this is another thing. But like I say, what I said in this video, I don't mean any disrespect or anything like that. It's just, talking about, things like social norms when it comes to dating and meeting people, I feel is making things a lot more difficult. Talking about issues that I have with body confidence that I've had for many years. And then talking about kind of things relating to my mum and my family and things of that nature. So yeah, that's pretty much the vlog. This is the discussion, not really a vlog, more of a discussion. But anyway, so thanks for watching. If you did, please comment, let me know what you think, and by all means, I mean, I am, to any friends and to anybody that watches this, if they're going through any problems, and you follow me on my social medias, if you want to talk, if you want to reach out privately, I'm always available. If you want to chat and talk, it's always good to have a supportive somebody that you can vent and talk to. I'm always available for that. If anybody sees that know who I am, or whatever, I'm available if you wished. But yeah, that's where my mindset's been at the moment. But like I said, don't worry about me. I'm alright to a degree. It's just over the past couple of weeks or so, I've had the odd things buzzing around my head, and I just thought, sod it, I'm going to get it out in a video and talk about what I've been thinking about within the last few weeks or so. But for the most part, I'm alright. My mental health hasn't been as bad. It's just kind of like been like little things here and there over the past few weeks or so that I've just wanted to just get out there, really. But yeah, there we have it. Thanks for watching if you did, and by all means, comment below the video, or if you want to message me privately, you're more than welcome. But thanks for watching, and I will see those of you at TFN in August, that are my good friends at TFN. I'll see you guys in August, hopefully. Um, but but yeah, I've got some stuff to look forward to, which will probably help my mental health a little bit. You know, like I say, I'm going away in July, in about 3 weeks, roughly 3 weeks, for a 1 week holiday in Spain, which will be a nice little bit of change of pace. And obviously TFN, so I'll be seeing all my TFN family, which I'm very much looking forward to. But anyway, so thank you. See you soon.